And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Do apologize for that short break and for some of the technical issues, but we've returned. We've returned here with the GSL 2026 Season 1 Group B initial match of the broadcast. Again, it's a group consisting of Cure, Trigger, alongside Bunny and Björn, 3 Terrans and 1 Protoss, and now we're jumping to Game 1. Now, we did miss out on the initial couple of minutes here of the match, unfortunately, but we are jumping right on in. When it comes to the early game here, Cure, he went for a proxy racks. He went for initial proxy racks into the bunker, was not all in, was not overly committed, was just designed to get some damage done early on, and Trigger was able to shut it down. He shut it down, caught the Reaper. We had some miscontrol at a Cure, so Cure did overextend, lost the Reaper, bunker was shut down, and in the end, Trigger does hold. So honestly, a very nice start here for Trigger as he shuts down the early attempted aggression from Cure, and Cure fails to get the damage done that he was hoping for. So very rough setup here from Cure. Behind this, going for his own 3-1-1 follow-up, we just see the Reaper is going to be zoned away. Nice defense so far by Trigger. He's maintaining his defenses. He's building up on 2 bases, and he's playing very safely as well, getting into 2 gate blink into a 3rd. I believe it's 2 gateway. We might be seeing a 3rd gateway as well. I haven't quite gotten an eye on the initial gateway count, but regardless, safe play to Trigger as he expands, building into the mid game. Welcome and also Title Citadel. Title Citadel is one of the larger maps of the map pool, longer rush distance by ground. When it comes to this map does typically favor Protoss players in a longer and later game. I say typically because of the gold expansion. If the Protoss player can gain map control, if they can gain map control, if they can take over control of the map, contain the Terran opponent, and take over that gold expansion, then the Protoss players are going to be heavily favored when it comes to building up in towards a longer and later game and just hammering down the Terran over time. We'll see if they can get there. We'll see if they can get there. We'll see if Trigger can maintain that momentum. For now, he's going for extra gateways here into the Bay, into Colossus before charge. Interesting. So going for delayed charge and no storm into earlier Colossus. This is a bit of a safer style to work with. It does give you a robust army as well, and it's a more defensive style as well. Going to earlier charge allows you to be more active and more aggressive and potentially go for some zealot drops and go for some engagements, some harassment, some surrounds as well, some flanks. Going into earlier Colossus does tell us that Trigger wants to just build up his Colossus count back at home and settle in towards a longer and later game. That is the perceived kind of follow-up here from Trigger. So now we are going to be opening up. Again, Trigger being a little more tame here is just slowly building up back at home. He's not really being active. There's no stalkers out on the map. There's no Prism harassing or threatening the bases or anything like that. So we do see Trigger now looking to poke out, but again, just to keep an eye on any kind of move outs. As he moves out, Reaper moves in, and Cure spots saturation at the 3rd. So it does confirm saturation. Stalkers, they pick in. They pick in, they pull away. So far, Cure, he does hold. Does hold, does defend, chasing back some of those stalkers. Curie does have momentum. Sim is going to finish up as the army gets across the map, and it's going to be on Trigger to slow this down. Like Trigger, he has to engage ahead of time, picking up some of the Reapers, some of the Marauders, some of the Marines. If at all possible, 1 Marine does get picked off, so nice pick off here by Trigger, but he needs more than that. More importantly, he needs to delay the push. Catching out another Marine, not bad. Tank does siege. Ooh, lock-on is broken. In the end, breaks the lock-on, pulls away. Does pull further back. Curious trying to gain some ground. Nice armor shred here on the charge lots. Yeah, his charge was not even done. Colossus too close. Oh my god, taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. Lock on the Colossus is broken just barely. Whew, and Trigger is holding, but this is a messy defense here for Trigger. Bleeding out a lot of zealots, taking a lot of damage. But he does hold. Ooh, even catching the Raven. Not bad. Does catch the Raven towards the end. Trigger so far so good. He's maintaining himself. At least he was able to engage the army ahead of time, and he was able to engage outside of range of his bases, and there it is. There's the gold. We spoke about this earlier. If Trigger can gain momentum, if he can gain map control, he can claim the gold, and then he can just snowball into a win. That gold base is going to be crucial, and we'll see if he can get there. Yeah, we shall see. So now we are pushing forward. Once again, the Trigger gaining map control is up to 2, soon to be 3 Colossus. Cure forced into Viking production. He's cranking out his Vikings. incorporating more Marauders. I will say that Trigger, I don't think he has done the best job here at gaining map control. Like, sure, he's posturing in the center of the map, but Cure does have a threatening army. Like, Cure, he can still threaten and he can still push in. Ooh, when the armies, they pass by each other. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, the goal base is exposed. And who catches who? Cure, he does move in. Yeah, he goes for the stim, it gets off the expansion, and Trigger is coming in from behind. The warp, and it looks like it will barely finish. And Cure, can he get out of here? Can he get out? Can he escape? Oh, boy's being pulled, locking down the army. Colossus still coming in from behind. Does focus on the Vikings, but the army stims away. Yeah, the army does break through, does stim through. 12 probe kills, critical damage. And you can see the Trigger, he failed to lock down the army. He tried to, he almost did, but he just didn't have enough zealots. Just did not have enough army. And those are hefty losses for Trigger. In the end, this was worth of a cure. Gets the middle line, trades well against the army, and the Colossus are exposed. Yeah, once again they're exposed. The juggling though, oh my god. Very nice juggling. But these are still expensive losses here. Trigger pulling away, saving the Colossus. Down to 2, down to 3. Again, they're barely alive. The Vikings doing so much, and oh, does he get one? He does. Yeah, he does get 1 Colossus. There's 2 Colossus left. Juggling is not good enough to save additional Colossi, but he does barely hold on. He takes the fight. We gotta go. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep pushing. Trigger, he has to get into that mineral line. He has to keep pushing forward. And he does chase down the Medivacs. Nice pick up. He gets 1, he gets 2. 2 Medivacs go down. Getting into the mineral line, getting into the SCVs, and here come the Warpins. Again, Trigger, he's got to keep going. Turning right now is not a good option. It's not an option here. Checking with the 3rd. Now pushing it towards the natural. E-base exposed. Ooh. Boys being pulled. Colossus getting very low. Colossus still getting low, but dancing with the army picking up SCVs is still a good trade. Ah, he's going for the CC. Okay. He's going for the command center. And we'll see if we can get a kill. Colossus pulls away. Boys are being pulled. Can he save the CC? 1 more volley. He gets it. Oh no, he gets it. Oh my god, just barely. CC goes down, the Prism, it does fall, and that means so does the Colossus. Yeah, Colossus finally falls as well. With that, Curie snowballing out of control, he breaks the main army. No more splash damage, no more Colossus. I say that another Colossus is going to be rallying in. Does rally forward, but does take too many hits though. It takes so much damage here. We need more Zealot buffer, more Zealot reinforcements. Colossus goes down. And we're getting messy. We're getting messy here. 29 SCVs remaining here for Cure. He barely has an economy left. But here come the Warpins. Trigger, he can keep going. Send that bappy. Keep sending it. As Trigger, he gets up the army, he gets himself the Marauders. And something that I was going to say earlier, but I mean, due to the technical difficulties, we couldn't get into it. But fun fact, Trigger, he actually beat Cure in the qualifiers. GG gets called, and Trigger, he'll take game number 1. Whew. GG, a very, very intense game 1 here. Very intense, very back and forth. In the end, Trigger, he barely does overwhelm. It was a messy game, don't get me wrong. Very messy, very high octane. But Trigger, he overwhelms, he gains momentum. The micro with the Prism was crazy, Papi, by the way. It was crazy, it was insane. It was impressive, and with that, Trigger takes a lead. Whew. Trigger, he does take a lead in the series, and we'll see if he can claim the series here and now. We'll see if he can go all the way. Can he send it, Pappy? Can he send it? But again, for those that are curious, for those that maybe missed this, we did cover the qualifiers of the GSL, and in said qualifiers, we were able to cover Trigger's run, and Trigger, he did defeat Cure to qualify for GSL. He did beat him in the qualifier, that was what, last week, and now he's here in the main event, and can he do it again? Can he also bring Cure down in the group stage? So far, he's taken that first step, but now we're ready for game 2, loading into Winter Madness. Another larger map, a larger map of the map pool. Once again, I'm a little bit surprised that this map made it through the veto process. Not gonna lie, like, this map, I want to say favors the Protoss when it comes to gaining map control and getting that momentum, but let's go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have a Cure, the South Korean Terran for Team Liquid. Can we? Yeah. And in the top left hand corner, we have the Canadian Protoss player, we have Trigger for Basilisk. Here we go. We got the Basilisk boy up against the Team Liquid. Once again, Cure, he does fan out what across the map with the SCV. We'll see if the plan is to go for an eBay block or if he goes for a proxy Rax. Eyes are on Cure as he does actually stop by close to his side of the map. Interesting. Okay, going for the proxy. He's going for the racks. Once again, this is not overly committed. This is not overly aggressive. Once again, the goal here is to poke in and gain some momentum early on, disrupt the economy while transitioning back at home. That's why technically this racks is on Cure's side of the map. It's not overly aggressive. It is not overly committed. And ideally, he even forces an overreaction. True, true. Ideally. We'll see if he can. Now, the Rax is progressing. Yeah, from here, that Rax is progressing. Marines are amassing as well. Oh, we're not even applying any pressure. Okay, I assumed it was just going to be Proxy Reaper, but no. Whoa, we're going for the factory alongside it, though. Okay, Esther Cure. At first, I thought it was going to be a fake out, but no, we are committing here into a 1-1-1. Cure, he's going for an all-in. He's going for one base all-in. Okay. Este Cure. Last, we do see the trigger. He's searching for the proxy. He's aware that the Rax is missing, at least the Rax. He does respond. Yeah, Marina's revealed back at home, so Trigger, he now knows that the Rax is on the Cure side of the map. He's now aware of at least that, but again, it's a one base all in. It's still that 1-1-1. And Trigger, he's still searching. Oh, he finds him. Oh my god, finally he does rally over. It's a bit of a later scout, but he does confirm the proxy Rax, the factory, and what should be... He doesn't see the starport, but seeing the factory with the tech lab as well, he knows. He should have seen everything he needs to. With that back at home, he's setting up. Stalker already picking away at the Marines. Not bad. This is permanent damage. Remember, there's no medevac. Not yet. Yeah, not yet. One Marine goes down. He gets one. Gets one Marine. Pulls further away. Doesn't test his luck. Does when he gets surrounded. And one way or another, either Cure, he kills Trigger, he dies trying with this. So our Twilight Council on the way. Interesting that we're going for Twilight Council instead of the Robo. This is a little bit riskier here. Trigger is thinking about Blink when I would say a more secure way to defend would be Immortals. Yeah, Tank Volley does punish. And here comes the drop. Alright, getting ready for the move out. As we're building up more tanks, getting even into combat shields. Crazy. Cure dropping back home initially, at least, to make sure he's able to defend. Ready for any kind of backstab. I'm reminded of RSL. We saw something very similar. If you recall, we saw this between Maru and Zaun in their RSL match last season. Cure does pull back. He's building up to 3, soon to be 4 tanks. This is such a tank-heavy composition. This is also why I mentioned that I feel like a more secure way of dealing with this would be to go in towards Immortal production. But thankfully, Charge will finish in time. I mean, that's another solid alternative option. Mass Zealots, if he can get on some of the tanks. Jesus, there's just so much buffer here. It's just a massive army. There's so much to work with. Uh-oh. They're missing each other. They pass, but no! Yeah, Trigger's out of position. Yeah, Trigger's out of position, which means Curie can siege up. He can siege up on top of the base. Trigger turns back around. And now he has to fight without the batteries. Ay. Curie has the high ground. He has the high ground. Zealots are going to be trickling in. We're going to get at least onto 1 tank. Ooh, massive tank shots. 1, 2, 3 tanks going to be going down. Can he get all 4? He can. Whew, gets us around. Zelda coming from behind. A battery did actually help towards the end. And Trigger is holding. He is holding on. He's lacking stalkers. These were expensive trades for Trigger, but he is holding. Send that pappy. And now came to the production. Needs to get himself with that tank. And coming up this round, a nice engage. And he's going to do it here. Again, he may have taken down a Cure 2-1 in the qualifiers, but here he's looking for a clean 2-0. Game 1 was still very messy, very shaky, and very, very close and very clutch. But here in Game 2, Trigger, he was able to scout, able to react, able to respond. I was concerned about his later tech, but it was a later push, remember. It was Cure going for a 4-tank move out, and GG gets called. Trigger, who'll claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round, to the winners match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Trigger, he will claim the initial series, and with that, that's another fast matchup here. Again, we spoke earlier about how these matches so far in GSL have been very fast, have been very aggressive, but alas here, Trigger, the same is continuing here in Group B. We saw it in Group A, we're seeing it here in Group B as well, with Trigger claiming the 2-0 here. Again, Game 1 was very close, very clutch when it came to Cure and Trigger and the mid-game, and fighting for map control and fighting for control of the map and aggression that were in each other's faces. Here in Game 2, we saw that Cure, he went for the proxy 1-1-1, sorry, technically proxy 2-1-1, into a 4-tank 1-base all in, and I was concerned that Trigger was going to be caught in the low ground, that he had to push up the ramp and take extra shots, and he did take extra shots. It was a more difficult fight for Trigger, but he still shut it down. The Mass Zealot was or did work wonderfully there for Trigger. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be going in a short break. When we come back, we'll have Björn versus Bunny in the next match. See you soon. See you soon, Pappy. See you soon.